Every precise step begins with calm control, clean light, and absolute timing. Even in a fully automated system, controlled pauses keep the entire process smooth, safe, and exact. At this stage, temperature, timing, and stability work together with machine-level precision.
Here we see the specimen secured in the rig.
Under full daylight and high-pressure flow, every surface is cleaned with repeatable mechanical force.
This is the moment when calibration, alignment, and automation lock perfectly into place.
Welcome to the logistics corridor. The automated transport cart down the line ensures that materials are delivered precisely where they need to be, 24 hours a day.
Once the frame is set, every surrounding tool can move with exact, repeatable confidence. As the line advances, heat, airflow, and timing keep every movement consistent and clean.
Every cut is measured by force, alignment, and motion, working together in one repeatable cycle.
Here we monitor the data streams from the scanner array. Every single portion is checked for weight,
At the inspection point, even the smallest pause delivers measurable control over the whole line. Behind every moving tray, the data layer keeps the entire operation visible in real time.
Once the packs are sealed, the line shifts into high volume flow without losing precision.
Cold chain stability protects consistency long before the product ever leaves the floor. Before the next pass begins, alignment locks the product into the exact position the system expects. From here, uniform shape and consistent weight become part of the same automated rhythm. By the time these packs reach the final station, presentation and protection have to be equally exact.
We don't seem to impart all with ends.
This wrap stage locks the load for motion, handling, and the cold chain that follows.
Efficiency and precision define our cold chain logistics here, ensuring product integrity every step of the way.
Once the product enters cold logistics, autonomous transport keeps timing tight and handling remarkably smooth. Inside the freezing stage, airflow, spacing, and load stability all matter just as much as temperature.
This is where the finished product enters a fully automated storage world. As you can see, the scale here is simply immense.
At dispatch level, every pallet becomes a live data point, moving through the system in real time.
In the outbound tunnel, speed only matters because control stays locked in every meter of movement. Even the stillest doorway in the system is part of a timed sequence, waiting for the next command.
At the control layer, every load is tracked as a moving pattern of timing, temperature, and route confirmation. Every clean cycle depends on pressure, coverage, and repeatable timing working together in plain sight.
In the tunnel stages, controlled atmosphere does as much work as the hardware surrounding it.
When the system confirms clean, every stage beyond it can move forward with confidence. Even the outbound vehicle passes through one last controlled environment before the load clears the facility. By this point, every wrapped load is moving through the plant with the same measured consistency as the product itself.
What looks effortless here is really the result of timing, spacing, and alignment happening all at once.
At this scale, precision isn't just visible, it becomes the whole story of the machine.
Before seasoning ever begins, the system verifies that form, weight, and placement are exactly where they should be.
What lands here is controlled just as carefully as every cut and every movement before it.
Even the turn is timed for heat retention, surface contact, and consistency from one steak to the next.
At the finish stage, presentation becomes another measurable part of the process.
At the plating stage, precision shifts from processing performance to visual presentation.
After every measured step, the final result still has to earn its place visually. Even the plated result leaves the station with the same calm precision that defined every stage before it.
Every system in this facility is connected by the same language of movement, cleanliness, and control.
Now we enter the processing hall. This is where the raw hides begin their transformation into high-quality leather.
At this stage, surface cleaning and controlled agitation prepare the hide for every process that follows.
With full surface spray coverage, the system can treat a large hide with repeatable force and timing. In the wash bath,
Controlled force and steady support work together to reshape how the material moves.
In the tunnel stage, timing, spray coverage, and material flow all have to stay perfectly coordinated.
Inside the drum, movement, soak time, and controlled rotation reshape the material with every cycle. Once the leather enters conditioning, temperature, airflow, and material tension start working as one system. Before any final patterning begins, the surface has to be guided, read, and prepared with exact control. Buffing refines the surface by balancing pressure, rotation, and feed speed across the whole sheet. Once the pattern is set, the surface begins carrying both function and a clear visual identity. At the cutting stage, digital precision turns a finished hide into exact components ready for assembly. Once the cuts are complete, the system separates waste from value with the same precision used to shape every part. When stitching begins, material control and seam accuracy become the next critical layer of the process. At the seam line, the smallest deviation matters, so feed, tension, and alignment stay locked together. Complex curves demand the same machine discipline as straight seams, just with far less room for error. As the assembled pieces advance, each checkpoint confirms that finish,
form, and alignment still match the program.
At the last assembly point, symmetry, placement, and consistency all have to line up perfectly.
At the packing station, protection, presentation, and repeatability come together in one final handling step.
Once the label is on, the product is no longer just finished. It's officially ready to move.
The last packing motions are just as controlled as the first machine steps at the beginning of the process. Once sealed and routed, the load enters the last stretch of its journey through the building.
Smooth and controlled, the final movement is complete. This shipment is now ready for dispatch.
At the dock, the entire process narrows down to one final question. Are we truly ready to ship?
From first handling to final dispatch, every stage you've seen is built on control, clarity, and movement with purpose.